Okay, so I'm only allotted a certain amount of time. So back to what I was saying. You do not want a relationship based on physicality. Relationships should be based on trust, intimate knowing of each other, a deep friendship where you can share your life experiences with each other and help each other evolve and overcome any life experiences you may have, or even share the good experiences with each other that you've had and grow a bond together. That is much more important, and trust, to be able to know the heart of the other one, to where you know them well so you can trust them. And it's a very comfortable place to be, a very peaceful, just love-filled place to be. Not saying that physical relationships isn't good, but it should not be just casually shared with people. I've been abstinent many times in my life for years, ever since I was young, because of this very reason. I've had many relationships that didn't evolve into the physical, but only good, deep friendships. Back to the story I was telling you earlier, I did not mean to say I fell victim. I am a survivor. And let me tell you right now, I had, since my dad passed in 2016, problems. I bought my home when I was a teenager in 1998, okay? And I never had any problems until my dad died. A paper, a document, an amended birth certificate with trust wills and estates I acquired. And I also acquired somebody leaving a paper for a false write-up of a false surgery of someone that I know for a thyroidectomy. I was just suddenly diagnosed with a rare form of Graves' disease called thyroid toxicosis. When I researched it, it can be caused by levothyroxine, which is a hypothyroid drug. Well, the paper that I have in my possession that someone that was kind enough to bring and leave at my home is a fake write-up for a fake surgery that never took place for someone that does not have a problem with levothyroxine written, oh, don't forget to take your levothyroxine before your thyroidectomy. I mean, this is a total false written up document. And I appreciate whoever gave me that document and left it for me. So since my dad passed, I had hacking of my phones, things wired in my appliances tearing up because of it, like speakers, little tiny speaker bugs, and Wi-Fi wiring up into my appliances. My televisions as well. I had to replace appliance after appliance. I bought a car brand new, put the first mile on it. I had to put 5 motors in it. The first motor 7,000 miles, second motor 12,000 miles, third motor 17,000 miles, fourth motor 18,000 miles, and the fifth motor 20,000 miles. It only has 50 now, and my resources are exhausted from buying thousands of phones that's been hacked. I've had thousands of emails hacked, bank accounts hacked, Cash App hacked. So I've had a lot of problems since the passing of my father. And I was assaulted the first time. And mind you, I've lived here since 1998, so it's not like I'm crying wolf, like I've always said somebody assaulted me. No, I've lived here since I was a teenager, 1998, and I only had the first assault experience in September 13, 2020. When I went to the refuge, they told me their rape kit nurse wouldn't be there that day. So I had another purpose in calling on my life to bust open a corrupt judicial system. And men bought the property around me that became the president of the Farm Bureau in the county I reside, roughly 10 years ago. Last year, he bought the adjacent home from me, that I received water from the well and refused to work out a water bill for me. So are you seeing the picture of the deconstruction of my life? Okay, my doors have been broken into, my windows have been busted out. My whole life they tried to deconstruct, but they didn't know they were messing with a child of God, a very well-seasoned child of God, a person that had been through a lot of adversity and overcome it. So when I let the brother-in-law in, he came the day after the water stopped running and offered to carry my water, and I knew exactly what he come from. And since I wasn't getting assistance from the ones who made an oath to serve and protect, I was going to be my own detective and get to the bottom, or either bust it wide open and make it known. Okay, so that's what I did. And that's where we are right now. We're still 10 months later into the judicial process because they don't know how to handle this, because they put me in a car with feces running down my leg, with an EMT in the front yard that did not assist me with even cleaning me off or giving me a rape kit test. And the guy that did this had a truck and a pair of keys. He's 6'2", 200 and something pounds. I'm 5'3.5", 110 pounds. He had keys and a truck and could have left. Do you have common sense? I do. But I was placed in a car like I was the perpetrator. I was calm in demeanor and happy to be alive, that I had escaped with my life, and that I had began to open up by my actions and my bravery, following my Father's instructions to do this, to make this place accountable and straighten up and start doing their job and doing the oaths that they swore to do. That is why I began to go visit up and down the East Coast after this happened to me, prostitutes and people and homelessness and stuff, because I used to be kind of judgmental of those type of people. I thought they put their self there. But now, since my experience, I know the tactics of the organized crime that does this to men, women, children, and boys. What they do is they deconstruct their life. They alienate them. Well, they usually find people that are alienated from their family. People come from abused home. Most people do drugs, and they get them on drugs, and then they say, oh, look, they're a drug addict, and then they put them on the street, and the people are lost and on drugs and do things that they wouldn't do, and they say, oh, look, she's just a, you know what, the H-O word. And I realized that these people were put in this position as all part of a strategic plan of organized crime. And then they end up overdosing them like this guy tried to do me, and say, oh, they were just a H.O. Oh, they were just a drug addict. Look, they OD'd. So I began a process of busting a corrupt judicial system out of the water. Praise be to the Almighty God, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Shalom, Jehovah Rapha, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega. So see, it had a purpose, what happened to me. And I have overcome it. And I am so glad to see it come to pass for justice for all the people that have lost their lives and have been lied on and have been survivors, or either people that have succumbed to death by the hands of bloodthirsty men and women that make their life on destroying other people's lives in the sickest way possible. Now, back to the relationship. When you have a relationship, it should be built on trust and love, not physicality, because you want that to be a healthy relationship for you to serve your highest good. and you want to dedicate yourself to bringing light and love in this world, and you want to do it fiercely, like the Lion of Judah, just like the situation that I voluntarily put myself in. Yeah, I knew his intention, and I knew that I was not being assisted the way that I should have been assisted by the law enforcement. So I took it upon myself to put my own self in danger, and I trusted my God that I would survive it. And I did survive it. And now they will answer for what they've done, and they will get their act together and begin to do and honor the oath that they swore to uphold, or they will be replaced by other men of God or good men, whether they be men of God or just good men that do honor that oath to uphold the law. So it was for a good purpose that I did this. It was not just for me. It was for all the others that are locked in containers tonight, that maybe, just maybe, men will rise up and be men and put an end to the atrocities that have been happening to people throughout this world, especially our country. Charity begins at our home, in our own country, on our own dirt, on our own land. And I am proud to have been able to have served and done my due diligence to bring this to light in this community. The people of this community watched my life be deconstructed. They were paid off, some of them, and some of them gave into fear, which lowered their DNA and made them not able to stand up for what was right. They did not serve their highest good and rise up and be true men and women of God. So let's talk about more sacred geometry. They even questioned my competency. I've been told that they had a illegal court proceeding without my presence, discussing me and my competence and whether I was competent to inherit my inheritance. What a joke. What a corrupt system we have here that really needs to be addressed. So it is being addressed, because God brings all things to pass, just like Philippians 1:6 says. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it until the day of Jesus Christ.